Hello, everybody, and welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. It's finished. Crystal Palace won, Tottenham Hotspur won. And, and if you watch my previous show, I said this. I said that this is a very important game. This is actually a more important game in some regards than the three previously that they played against City, Arsenal, and Chelsea. And the reason is that those games it's easy for the style that Spurs play. Those games are actually relatively easy because Spurs can sit deep, they can soak up the pressure, then hit on the break. They've got Kane, they've got Son. Today they had to take the initiative. They actually had to, break Palace down, score goals, and they came unstuck. They slipped up today, and it started off quite well for Spurs. I mean, the first few minutes they were actually pretty proactive. They were attacking. But you kind of always felt that Spurs. I do feel Spurs lack that quality again in the middle, and again it's the same thing. Playing two defensive midfielders against Crystal Palace, you don't need to play that. You don't need to go with Sissoko and um, Højbjerg in the middle. And I know that's a little bit disrespectful to Palace, but Palace, aside from Zaha and Eze in that second half, and for the whole game, aside from Zaha and Eze, they don't really have a lot of threats. So you would expect a back five or four, set defenders and one holding midfielder to do the job. You can back them to do it, but I mean, it was a little bit defensive, but I mean, they got the opening goal, which was very quite lucky actually. Guaita was completely at fault for that one. It was a nice shot from Kane, but even I don't think even he was expecting the ball to go in, but it did, and they got that lead. And at that point, you thought, okay, now they've got the opportunity where they can sit back, soak up the pressure, and then hit on the break. And Palace kept growing into that game because as Spurs retreated deeper and deeper and deeper, Palace just kept growing and growing and growing into the game. And I thought Mourinho was very passive in the second half. I thought he changed, took off in Ndombele, he brought on Lo Celso, which wasn't much of a change, and it's something that we see quite often. But I think around the 70th minute mark, 75th minute mark, I thought, he's got to do more because, Palace is starting to create chances. They're starting to create good chances, not just chances, but clear cut chances. There was, I believe, Zaha had a header that went over. There was a couple of, Schlupp had a nice chance as well, which he kind of ballooned over. So he's starting to create. And I thought he's got to change it here. Either go to a back five, and it's okay to do that when you're leading. You don't want to do that at the start of the game. But when you're leading, that's fine. If you want to go to a back five, let's switch to a back five. So you can kind of go more defensive or bring on another attacker. So you kind of force Palace to think, defensively, like that there's a threat there that they need to be wary of. But he didn't do either. He was kind of passive. I think he kind of thought that his team is good enough. They've seen this before. They kind of can see it out, but they couldn't. And there was a wonderful free kick from Eze. I don't think you can say anything about that. It was a wonderful free kick. I think Lloris kind of was a bit unsighted. I think he could have done better. Maybe not. It depends on perspective. I think he could have probably palmed it away or tried better to kind of like push it away. But I think he was just surprised that it came to him, and he fumbled with it, and then Schlupp was very very alert, and he bundles it home. It would have been hard for him to miss. If he had missed from there, that would have been something. Sterling would have scored from there. I'm kidding, but no, but yeah, it was a good goal, and they deserved it. I think Palace deserved it. It was a brilliant second half that they were playing. I don't think tactically they were that different from the first half. I think the only difference was Tottenham kept retreating, and it allowed Palace to keep going forward and more. And they had, and the thing about the difference, I think, is they were very good on the break. They were causing a lot of problems to Spurs on the break. Even in the first half, they were causing quite a few problems as they had a shot off the post. Ibiza had a couple of chances as well. They're creating problems. The thing was that I think they kind of surprised Tottenham was that they could also play well enough on the front foot. So even though they were on the front foot, sometimes teams like that, when they have the ball, they don't know what to do with it because they're so used to playing on the back foot and playing on the break, and so used to having that space on the break that they don't know when they don't have the space what to do. But Palace looked very adept, and maybe Mourinho underestimated that just a tad little bit. He underestimated Palace's ability with the ball, and it worked out well for them, and they got the goal. Even then though, Spurs could have won it. I thought the changes came a little bit too late, but they could have won it. There are a couple of chances which Guaita put away. I thought that save of the free kick was I mean, was it free kick? No, it was actually a deflected corner that came in from But yes, there was a free kick as well, and then there was one before that where there was a deflected cross from Ben Davis that reached Kane, and he kept him out as well. So all in all, he had a bit of a shocker for that first goal for the goal that he conceded, but he redeemed himself with some very good saves. He made some very good saves before the goal was scored by Tottenham, and then even after Palace scored, he made a couple of very good saves. So he kind of redeemed himself. But overall, a deserved point for Palace. I think they probably would be a little bit upset that they didn't win the game because they had chances to win the game. I don't think Spurs, aside from a couple of shots before the goal and then the goal and then the shots right at the end, in between they really didn't create a lot. There weren't a lot of chances that they created. And I think that is a worry against teams like this because it's easy, it's well and good, you have the to be defensively disciplined, to be organized. We saw it yesterday with United and City as well. It's if you have four center halves and two defensive midfielders, it's relatively easier to stay compact, to stay organized against big teams. And but against the smaller teams, against these sort of mid-table teams, what you really need is you need that guile, that creativity to come in to break them down, and that wasn't there really. And it, that was the litmus test for Spurs, because in the past, Spurs have got good results against their top six rivals, but then they come and stuck against these lower table teams, and that's what again happened today. And I think that to me, psychologically, I think the title race, when you talk about the title race, that's where I think Liverpool will have the edge now with this result, because they'll see it and they think, you know what, Liverpool, Spurs aren't all that. They're good, but they're not all that probably, and that might be such a small issue. But I mean that's really all what one can do. But it's a big defeat. It's a draw that feels like a defeat for Spurs. And it's a big 2 points dropped. And now Liverpool, they've got Fulham next up, and they will go top of the table because they will beat Fulham. I think if Liverpool don't beat Fulham, then serious questions need to be asked. So what's happened this weekend? Because Chelsea have not won, Spurs have not won, now City have not won as well, and even Liverpool not winning. But I think Liverpool will win. I think that's where Liverpool are different from the other teams, and that's why I always believe. That's why I believe Liverpool will win the league title. I've been saying it consistently. It's not that Liverpool are that good ability wise. I don't think they have players that are they have very good players. They're world class players, but other teams are world class players too. The difference is they know how to get the job done. They've learned how to get results against these sort of teams, how to grind them out when they need to, and that's where they'll win the league title. It's the injuries. We are all of that. You put all that to one side. If other teams are not winning their games, and if other teams are dropping points, then all Liverpool have to do is keep matching those results, and they'll win the league title. So that's what they're gonna, and that's where they are different from all the other teams. And so that's just what it is. And again today it's proven. Yesterday it was proven when Chelsea went and lost to Everton in a game that they should have won. And I know injuries are taking its toll, but they should have won that game. They lost it. Not should have won before the game. I think Everton completely deserved their win, although Chelsea did have two shots at the post. But they lost that, and today against Spurs should have won it. They had the lead. They just a matter of making those big decisions at the right times. It didn't happen today for them, and they've lost. And sorry, not lost, but they've drawn. I keep saying lost because to me it feels like a loss, doesn't it? That draw just feels like a loss. Because when you go 1-0 and you've led for most of the game, and you go in the last 10 minutes and you consider a goal, it always feels like a loss. And it's two drop points. It's two crucial drop points. But psychologically, what the impact is going to be on Spurs going into Liverpool's game, I think that will be much more significant. Anyway, the Liverpool game is going to start in a bit. This video, once it's uploaded, it's probably already going to be underway. So I'm going to be watching that. I'll be back with match reactions for that one as well. We're going to keep an eye on that. Even though it's probably not going to be it might not be as exciting as a neutral to watch that game as it was this one. But it's finished 1-1. A brilliant fight back from Crystal Palace to come back from 1-0 down. Really dominated the game in that second half. I think man of the match, you probably might give it to Guaita. I would have a special mention for Eze. I thought Eze was really brilliant today. The free kick was great. He also had a shot at the post. He looked lively. He looked dangerous. I'll just go with a sentimental favorite and say Eze was my man of the match for this one. But let me know what you think in the comments. Who do you think was your man of the match? Who do you think played well for Spurs, played well for Palace, didn't play so well? What do you think is going to happen for Spurs now going forward, and how crucial do you think these 2 points dropped will be? Let me know in the comment sections. I always love hearing from you guys, so please let me know. And also please remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new. I want to keep producing this kind of content, and your subscription helps me and helps the channel grow and helps me in keeping on producing this sort of content for you. So I want to keep doing that, so please support me, and I would really appreciate that. But have a good evening or morning, whatever time you're watching this. And if you're going to be watching the Chelsea game, then sorry, not Chelsea, the Liverpool game, then please remember to tune back in because we'll have match reactions for that as well. But if not, enjoy the rest of your Sunday and the rest of your week. We're actually going to have games back again on Tuesday. If the Premier League doesn't take a break, we're going to be back on Tuesday with games. So anyway, but enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.